Hi everybody, it's Dara, and this is the moment that a lot of you have been waiting for. I have been talking about tonics for a long time. Tonics to me, my tonics, help me to not drink coffee. Coffee is one of the hardest things to kick. It is definitely addictive. It definitely dehydrates you, dehydrates your skin, your intestines. It pulls the moisture out, and as far as I'm concerned, it pulls the beauty out of us. And I know that everything in moderation is okay, but for me, I have a little bit and then I need a little more, and then I want a little more, and then a month goes by and I feel really, really addicted. So in order to skip the coffee, I make these tonics, and what they are is they're a hot tea base. And you can use any tea you want. If you want a caffeinated tea, use a nice chai base. If you can use green tea. What I'm using today is a tea called Gynostemma, and it's a green tea without any caffeine. And I will show you the ingredients, but don't panic if you don't get them from my words, because underneath this video I will post in the description exactly what I used. Now I want you to know that I change this up all the time. I change the measurements, I change the ingredients. So I'm going to give you a general gist of what I use, and you can feel free to look up the ingredients. You can Google them, because they have amazing properties that would just take me way too long to describe. But basically, this is a medicinal tonic. This is something that not only will help you get off coffee, but actually is really, really good for you. And it also helps me stay raw, because with all of the cool foods and what people describe as damp foods, this is something that heats me up and makes me warm. So here we go. This is really exciting. So what I have here is a teapot full of hot water with the Gynostemma tea. I have it in loose leaf form, but it also comes in tea bags. You can get it from Ron Tea Garden. That's one place. So Gynostemma. What I'm going to do is start adding the dry ingredients that I use into the blender. So we'll just go little by little. Now I want to talk to you about cacao. Not everybody likes cacao. They might like carob. It's been explained to me that if you want all of these medicinal ingredients that I'm using, the mushrooms and herbs, to go into your system, then a little bit of caffeine can drive them to your system. So you might want to use a caffeinated tea, or you might choose to use a decaf tea and a little bit of cacao. Many days I don't touch cacao, but today, just for the purpose of showing you what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I'm going to put about 1.5 tablespoons of cacao. I always use fresh ground vanilla. About a teaspoon. Can't go wrong with that. It smells delicious. I'm going to use a little bit of nutmeg, which has wonderful properties. You never want to use too much nutmeg. It's known to be dangerous, but it definitely prevents your happy mood that you're going to get from all this from coming down, and that's a very unscientific way of describing it, but here we go. So I have something called chaga. It's a mushroom. It's a dried mushroom. It'll give us energy. See how much? You can see how much I'm putting in. I'm not measuring, so you don't have to panic. The only thing that you don't want to use too much of is a mushroom called reishi, because it'll throw the taste off and you can never come back. It's very, very strong. But I do love reishi. I love it so much I may even be out of it. I use a little pinch of cayenne to give it a little bit of heat. I use ho shou wu, which is actually calming. This is fine to use at night, but I like this a lot. Ho shou wu. There you have it. And pearl powder, it's actually ground up pearl, is amazing for the skin. And that's like you just use a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon. This tonic's for 2 people, so I can do a little bit more. And this magic thing is called mucuna. You can look that up as well. It has wonderful, wonderful properties. I think maybe I'll do another video just talking about the properties of all these things. Now, I have a magic trio of things that will make this sweet, that will not raise your glycemic index. I think it's important wherever possible to not go heavy on sugars, honey, agave, and coconut nectar, and all of those things. If you're going to make a tonic for yourself every day, why not learn how to make it in a way that is still really, really good for you and won't feed yeast or candida or anything affect your insulin level. So what I found to be amazing is to use 3 things. I call it my magic sweet trio. Here's one of them. If you can find this sweet leaf vanilla cream, go ahead and use this. I will use a dropper full. If you can't, any stevia will do. Then I use something called lucuma. It's a Peruvian root ground up, and it's kind of butterscotchy. So I'll use a nice heaping tablespoon and a half of that. And then the next thing for the magic trio is the yacon syrup. And that's from a root from Peru also. So I just pour a bunch of that in. Now everything is to taste, everybody. You can't worry too much about the exactitudes. Well, you can if you want to. I don't. So a couple pinches of salt to bring out the sweetness. And for creaminess, what I do, because all of this, we have the sweet, we have all the mushrooms, and I want to make it a little bit creamy, which is way better than adding dairy. So you can use hemp seeds for creaminess. You can use coconut oil. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. Where's my I'll use this. Okay. So I will use a nice tablespoon of coconut oil, which is actually really good for the thyroid. It's antifungal and antibacterial. And what did I leave out? Anything? I wanted to introduce 2 things too, and these are 2 very nice companies. Ultimate Superfoods has a lot of superfood powders, and this is ashwagandha. I'm going to put some of that in. That's really good for energy and libido and I hear testosterone. We're going to need to look all these up, everybody, and share our information. And for those of you who don't like superfoods, you don't have to have this. You can make your own little version of a chai tea with a little bit of coconut oil and vanilla and maybe a little bit of pearl powder, and that's a soothing nighttime drink. But we're going for energy today. And I don't know if you've heard of maca, but maca will definitely give you energy. And Essential Living Foods is a really, really nice company here in Santa Monica, California. So I'm going to put a little bit of maca in. So we've got all these powders and potions and lotions, and we're going to pour the tea in. I'm using the loose leaf gynostemma, which I get from Jing Herbs. A lot of my mushrooms come from jingherbs.com. I highly recommend them. Getting a little hot on my fingers. Okay. That looks about good. Put the lid on and blend. You can film me. I'm gonna tell you, hey, that was my one mistake for video. I'm allowed one mistake. So I'm getting used to this blend tech, and obviously I didn't put the lid on properly. I'm used to my Vitamix. So everybody hang tight. We're gonna keep going. If I had a studio audience, they'd be laughing. My cameraman is being really polite. Okay, it's Gage, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to pour it, and we are going to have a toast to the fact that you can be raw and still have hot liquids. In my opinion, this is how I like to do it, and it's so beautiful. Look at that. This is heartwarming, and it gives you energy for your chi gets boosted, but they talk about Jing, and Jing is the container that holds your chi, this whole area around here. You want to be strong, you want to have a strong foundation, and this, we're going to talk about the properties another time. So we have 2 of these. I'm going to take a taste. It's delicious. I think I could even make it a little bit sweeter, but I actually like it. So go ahead and adjust it to your own taste. Enjoy. I hope you make this tonic, and let me know what you think. Subscribe to my videos, to the channel, and we'll play. So I'll see you soon, everybody, and get your greens on.